What casual, everyday, totally normal thing makes you cry? When I go drive around certain areas. Kinda weird how nostalgia can be so tied to places. I'm a sympathetic crier. If someone around me is tearing up, I am, too. No idea why, wish I could stop because it can make for awkward moments. When I see a really old person gingerly walking their really old doggy, I secretly wish that they can pass away together at the same time so neither one has to miss the other. Crying. Mom tells me she loves me before hanging up the phone. Great music or movies. I get super emotional even if it's not particularly sad, if something is executed perfectly. There's just something transcendental about watching Garfield 2, A Tale of Two Kitties. I don't cry, but when I see strangers helping each other or if someone helps me with something I get a little soft inside. Seeing homeless people with pets. I've been in their shoes and I know how hard every day is. When I'm on my period, all bets are off. Stub my toe? Cry. See a Subaru commercial? Cry. Someone tells me that they think I'm a great friend? You get the picture. Snuggling my red belly parrot. I love her so much that I frequently tear up when giving her scritches and kisses. I've had her 20 years now and it still happens a couple of times a week. Healthy family dynamics. Seeing postings for lost pets. Onions. Pets passing. Anyone's pets. Being tired and hungry. If I'm super tired and hungry, every stupid little thing just makes me want to cry. It doesn't even matter if they're sad events or not. It'll remind me of something sad and off I go. If I get dinner and a good night's sleep, I'm back to my normal stoic self. When an elderly person is working a menial job like fast food or at a dollar store. Being held by someone that cares and understands your pain. It's better than sex. Edit. It feels like coming up for air after years of being trapped in a watery darkness you had no idea you were ever in. After they let go, it's like withdrawal. And you can finally let your feelings wash over you. After they leave, it's like withdrawal. It really is. I used to want to try cocaine, but now I'm less inclined. Subs for Lunch described it really well. Bending cards in a card game. I am pretty boring. Edit. WTF, first time I got over 600 upvotes. Thanks fellas. My mother left when I was young. I have young kids now. Sometimes the stupidest kids songs make me start to cry. I cannot imagine abandoning my child, so hearing, "You are my sunshine," and imagining leaving the way my mother did, just wrecks me. Dads having a special day out with their daughters. It was always my absolute favorite moments as a child, going to museums and things with my dad. Now I work in a museum and when I see them having a day out I get all teary-eyed. Then I call my dad and tell him how much I love him. When my 3-year-old tells me she loves me, most days I feel like a complete failure of a parent, but knowing that little girl loves me just makes me well up. Work. When I see a gathering of nations, for example, Olympics or Edinburgh Castle Army drumline battle, the sort. Always get super emotional. Seeing parents actually loving their kids. I haven't actually cried in public over it, but the closest I came was when working retail and seeing moms running to their kids after they've been lost and we've had the whole store looking for them. They weren't angry that they'd wandered off. They were relieved that they were okay. Someone who listens to you vent and just ramble on and genuinely cares. Inanimate objects that have sentimental value to someone being discarded or thrown away. I can't stand to think about someone losing a beloved toy, and I can hardly bring myself to throw away a paper plate if I've accidentally personified it somehow. I have these gourds with googly eyes I make every year, and I've had to convince myself that they reincarnate into next year's gourds so that I don't cry when they start to go bad and I have to put them in the garbage. Stuffed animal neglect. Stop leaving them outside in the rain, you sick fucks. Sad face. The show, Call the Midwife. Seeing my cat sleeping peacefully at the foot of my bed. Cats know they are vulnerable when they sleep, so they seek somewhere where they'll be safe, and when I see her sleeping peacefully it shows she feels safe with me. It always makes me tear up. Old people. Guitar solos in music. I have absolutely no idea why this happens, but 9 times out of 10 if I hear a good guitar solo in a song it makes me tear up. People being sympathetic toward me. And actually meaning it. Like, my birth giver walked out on us at the beginning of the year and left my father as the sole caretaker of their 7 other kids. Then my father got sick and had to be hospitalized and couldn't work, then had to get surgery and was on antibiotics that prevented him from working even longer, and he recently revealed he has to get eye surgery which will put him out of work again more than likely. Through all of this my coworkers have just been so supportive. Offering me hugs, or just to talk or just whatever I need. Having to talk on the phone without time for preparation, really having to ask something or talk to someone and being too afraid to do so. Social anxiety really fucking sucks. I'll start. For me it's those loving moments between a father and his children. Especially videos of stuff like that. Just makes me lose it. Yeah, our Happy Crying Dads is a subreddit I can go to on very specific times. For a few years after my grandma died, I couldn't make my bed from scratch with clean sheets without crying. It was something we did together and she taught me very specifically how to do it. Depression. When anyone speaks with a just slightly, angered voice. Like yeah, I understand. I'm the most disgusting person you've ever talked to and you hate everything about me. You don't have to rub it in. LMAO. So, there's this channel on YouTube that I watch which features an adorable Indian ringneck. I don't really cry, but whenever the ringneck asks for this one parrotlet who passed away, I always feel really sad. He even apologized after he asked for the parrotlet once, crying. Cats meowing. I'm used to it with my own cats, but any other cat I come across that meows will send me into a blubbering mess. What a blurse. Seeing an animal in a cage, or any kind of lonely or mistreated animal. When a parent in a movie says to their kid, adult kid or literal kid, either one, I'm proud of you. Swans can be gay. Makes me sob completely. When you're friends with someone but only because of someone else. Sorta like a third wheel but not exactly, more like friend preferences. This seems a bit weird but sometimes I'll see a story about someone reconnecting with a long-lost immediate family member, or cleaning their life up or something and my mind will just create this elaborate fantasy life where the same scenario is happening to some form of me and I tear up. It's like the mushy version of imagining confrontations. I'm not someone who cries easily, I almost never cry, but the other day I was talking to a very good friend about how badly my life has been going. He was incredibly supportive, he hugged me and said everything I needed to hear. I didn't cry that hard, but to see someone be that supportive about it made me drop a couple of tears. I cried because I saw that he genuinely cared about me and was there to support me. Also sorry if my English is not perfect. It's not my native language. Seeing a homeless street cat. I guess it doesn't make me cry, but it's like a small gut punch. It's not an everyday thing, but I can't watch a video of someone in the military coming home after years away and surprising a loved one. Guaranteed waterworks. Bruh, I am pregnant so everything makes me cry. Just a few examples. My cat looked particularly beautiful. Lunch didn't taste the way I imagined it would because I appreciate my husband. I made my own lunch for the first time in weeks and I ruined it. Started crying because I didn't have a reason to cry which made me cry even harder. Ben gave Leslie an L-shaped eclair on Parks and Rec. Zaxby's ran out of fries and stopped selling milkshakes. I don't know, but I'll tell you when I see it. Working. Seriously, I never thought I'd live to be 24 so I've been winging it up until last year. Left a toxic relationship and found a job and I have my own place, forcibly. My parents threw me out when my ex dumped me at home. But it's so exhausting. I used to work 4x10 and it was alright, except for the fact that my entire life for the next year was dedicated to being screamed at over the phone. I had no time for myself. I felt like my life was consumed by my full-time job. I fucking hate it. And we're supposed to do this until we die? Every day? I switched over to part-time and I am barely scraping by, although I'm able to keep my own sanity at the cost of losing hours and fat paychecks. I used to melt down every single day on the phones last month because my depression spiraled out of control. Being a real adult. It's scary. I hate my job but I need to keep a roof over my head for my dog, my cousin and my boyfriend. Singing, both when I do it or when I hear it. Listening to someone sing live gets me every time, but if I'm emotional and I sing or hear a song on the radio that hits me the right way, I get a knot in the throat and start to cry. Usually musicals get me every time.